Have you ever wondered what the differences between male and female cats are? Well, you're not alone. It's a fascinating topic, especially for those considering welcoming a feline friend into their homes. Recognizing the differences between the sexes can help you create a more harmonious and understanding relationship with your pet. In this video, we'll plunge into the intriguing world of cats, revealing the 10 key differences between males and females. We'll explore everything from physical traits, color variations, territorial behavior, to socialization habits. We'll also delve into the differences in their health and lifespan, providing you with comprehensive insights. And for a little bonus, we'll reveal which combination of genders tend to get along better. Understanding these distinctions not only enriches our knowledge, but also aids in making well-informed decisions when choosing our feline companions. Ready to uncover the fascinating world of cats? Let's jump right in! First off, let's talk about physical differences. When it comes to cats, one of the most obvious distinctions between males and females is their size. On average, male cats tend to be larger than their female counterparts. This isn't a hard and fast rule, mind you, as there are always exceptions. But generally speaking, if you were to line up a bunch of male and female cats, you'd likely notice that the boys are a bit more robust. They often have broader faces, larger bodies, and a more muscular build. Females, in contrast, tend to be more petite with a more delicate structure. They're typically lighter and smaller with finer features. This size difference can be attributed to the male cat's role in the wild as the defender of territory, requiring a larger, stronger body. So, if you're looking for a larger, more robust cat, a male might be the way to go. Did you know that a cat's gender can influence its color? Yes, it's true. Certain color patterns in cats are tied to their chromosomes, specifically the X chromosome. You see, colors like orange and black are found on the X chromosome, and since females have two X chromosomes, they can display both colors at once. This genetic quirk leads to some truly unique and vibrant color patterns, like tortoiseshell and calico, which are almost always seen in female cats. Tortoiseshell cats have a beautiful mosaic of black, orange, and sometimes white fur. Similarly, calicos sport a tricolor coat of white, orange, and black. However, this isn't to say that male cats can't be strikingly colorful. They can indeed have bright and beautiful coats, but they typically display one color at a time. So, if you're after a brightly colored kitty, a female may be your best bet. Now let's move on to territorial differences. There's something quite fascinating about the way cats claim their territory. While both male and female cats are territorial, male cats, particularly unneutered ones, tend to be more so. They'll not only mark their territory by spraying, but they may also engage in more aggressive behavior, such as fighting with other cats. This is all part of their instinctual drive to secure a territory and assert dominance. On the other hand, female cats are generally less aggressive when it comes to territorial disputes. They're more likely to use non-confrontational methods, such as rubbing their scent on objects or people, to mark their territory. They'll also defend their territory, but they're typically less likely to get into a physical altercation over it. If you prefer a less territorial cat, a female could be a better choice. But remember, every cat is unique, and individual behavior can vary quite a bit. Are male cats more social than females? Let's find out. In the feline world, socialization differences are apparent. Male cats, or toms, are often seen as the life of the party. They're generally more playful, more outgoing, and more inclined to engage in interactive games. They enjoy the hustle and bustle of a lively household, basking in the attention and activity. On the other hand, female cats, often referred to as queens, tend to be more independent. They possess a certain queenly demeanor, enjoying their solitude and personal space. They're not antisocial, mind you, but they're more selective about when and with whom they socialize. They're like that friend who's always up for a good chat but values their alone time. It's important to remember, though, that every cat is an individual, and these are general tendencies, not hard and fast rules. So if you want a playful companion, a male cat might be the one for you. What about health and lifespan differences? Here's where things get interesting. When it comes to longevity, female cats generally have the upper hand. They tend to live longer than their male counterparts. This is due to a combination of factors, including their genetic makeup and overall health profile. Now, let's delve into some health issues specific to each gender. Male cats are more prone to developing urinary tract problems. This is due to their narrower urethra, which can easily become blocked. On the other hand, female cats are more susceptible to developing mammary gland tumors, especially if they're not spayed at a young age. It's important to note that these are just general trends and individual health outcomes can greatly vary. But by understanding these differences, we can take steps to ensure our feline friends live long, healthy lives. Regular veterinary checkups and a balanced diet are key. So, if longevity is a significant factor for you, a female cat might be a more suitable choice. Now, for a bonus point, which combination of genders gets along better? Let's dive into the world of feline friendships. You might assume that two female cats would be the best of pals, right? Well, not necessarily. Female felines can be quite territorial and competitive with each other. They might bicker over who gets the best spot on the windowsill or who gets to play with the favorite feather toy. On the other hand, two male cats often form strong bonds. They're known to be more easygoing and less competitive. They might even be found grooming each other or snuggling up for a nap together. Now, what about a male and a female cat? Well, they can also get along splendidly, especially if they're introduced to each other at a young age. However, it's essential to consider individual personalities, past experiences, and whether they're neutered. So, if you're planning on having more than one cat, this is something to keep in mind. Let's recap the key points we've learned today. Our feline friends are fascinating creatures, full of nuances and subtleties that make each one unique. Among these are the differences between male and female cats, which can play a significant role in their behavior, health, and even the color of their fur. We've learned that physically, male cats tend to be larger and more muscular than their female counterparts. This difference can be particularly noticeable in certain breeds, but it's a general rule of thumb across the board. Color-wise, it's interesting to note that certain coat colors are linked to gender. For instance, the majority of calico and tortoiseshell cats are female due to the way color genes are carried on the X chromosome. When it comes to territory, male cats are typically more territorial than females, often marking their space with urine. Females, on the other hand, tend to be less aggressive about marking territory, but they can still be quite protective, especially when they have kittens. In terms of socialization, male cats are often seen as more sociable and playful. Females can be just as affectionate, but they tend to show their love in a more reserved way, often preferring one-on-one interactions. We also touched on health and lifespan differences. On average, female cats live slightly longer than males. However, both genders are prone to certain health conditions, with males more likely to suffer from urinary tract issues and females at risk of certain reproductive cancers if not spayed. As a bonus, we explored which combination of genders gets along better. While every cat is different, generally speaking, a male and a female cat tend to get along better than two males or two females, especially if they're introduced to each other at a young age. Remember, every cat is unique, regardless of their gender. The most important thing is to provide them with the love and care they deserve. Thanks for watching.